Hello everyone, welcome to today's session on displaying data with Bootstrap cards and tables. In this session, we will learn how to render lists and tables dynamically using Angular's data binding capabilities and style them using Bootstrap components. My name is Mrs. Archana Rasa and I will be guiding you through this session. Let's begin with a quick overview of what we will be covering today. First, we will look at what Bootstrap cards and tables are and how we can use them to display data in a clean and responsive manner. Then, we will explore Angular's data binding capabilities and see how to inject dynamic data into Bootstrap components. We will go over practical examples that demonstrate list rendering using cards and tables. By the end of this session, you will be able to integrate Angular and Bootstrap to present data effectively. Bootstrap cards are flexible containers that we can use to group different types of content. They can include images, text, links, and buttons. Bootstrap gives us several classes to style these cards. This makes it very easy to create visually appealing layouts without writing much custom CSS. Cards are commonly used to display a collection of data, and we will see today how Angular helps us render these cards dynamically. Bootstrap card components. Here is a quick look at the key components of Bootstrap card. The card class is the main wrapper that defines the overall structure of the card. Inside we can have elements like card body for the main content, card header and card footer for adding titles or footers, and the card image top for placing an image at the top. These classes are very flexible, allowing us to create both simple and complex cards. What are Bootstrap tables? Bootstrap also offers a powerful set of table classes to style tables with aids. This table class creates a basic styled table, while classes like table strip and table hover add features such as an alternating row colors and hover effect. For responsive designs, the table responsive class ensures the table adjusts to different screen sizes. We will soon see how to integrate these tables with Angular to render dynamic data. Next, we come to one of Angular's most powerful features, data binding. Angular allows us to bind data dynamically to the DOM using the ng-model directive for two-way binding or the ng-for directive for rendering list. With Angular's components, we can easily manage and display data without manually manipulating the DOM. We will use this capability to inject data into our Bootstrap cards and tables. Displaying data with Bootstrap cards. Now let's talk about how to display data using Bootstrap cards in Angular. By using Angular's ng-for directive, we can loop through an array of data and dynamically generate multiple cards. For example, if we have a list of products, we can iterate through the list and render each product in its own card. This is highly efficient when dealing with large data sets, and Angular ensures that only the necessary changes are made to the DOM, making the application fast. Displaying data with Bootstrap tables. Similarly, we can use Bootstrap tables to display dynamic data. The ng-for directive can be used to create table rows on the fly, where each row represents an item from our dataset. By combining Angular's data binding capabilities with Bootstrap styling, we get tables that are not only functional but also visually appealing. Bootstrap classes such as table hover can be used to improve user interaction by adding hover effects to the rows. Let's take a look at an example of an Angular component that renders a list of items using Bootstrap cards. In the component's TypeScript file, we define a data array such as a list of users or products. The template file contains a card layout where we use ng-for to loop through the data array and inject the dynamic data into each card. This code structure allows us to create as many cards as there are items in the dataset without writing redundant HTML. In this example, we see an Angular component that renders a table using Bootstrap. Just like the cards, we use the ng-for directive to generate table rows. dynamically. Each row contains data from the array, such as user details or product information. This approach is very efficient for managing large data sets because the HTML template stays clean and reusable. We will be we will soon try this in the practical demonstration. Now let's move to the practical demo. I will open Visual Studio Code and show you how to create a list of Bootstrap cards and tables dynamically using Angular. We will walk through the steps of defining the data in our component and rendering it in the HTML file. You will see how easy it is to implement dynamic data rendering with Angular and Bootstrap together. Let's start by running the Angular app and see the output. To wrap up, today we explored how Bootstrap cards and tables can be used to present data in a clean and organized manner. We learned how to integrate Angular's data binding features with Bootstrap components to dynamically render lists and tables. With Angular's ng4 directive, we can efficiently manage large data sets and present them using Bootstrap's responsive UI elements. By combining these two technologies, you can build powerful, responsive, and visually appealing web applications. That brings us the end of this session. Now I would like to open the floor for questions. Feel free to ask any doubts or clarifications you may have regarding the topics we covered today. Thank you.